You know, the good thing about presidential debates is that not only pundits get to criticize the candidates and the moderators, and not only media critics, and not only columnists and commentators and bloviators, but everybody in America who watches it can have an opinion. And so I think, based on the email and the tweets and the Facebook comments that I've seen, that it's not just my opinion or the opinion of many others in the mainstream media that the CNBC debate was a debacle, but many of you think so as well, and you've expressed that very well and very forcefully. And of course, it's led to this whole debate about debates. The candidates now pushing back and wanting to change the format and the rules and perhaps the tenor of future debates hosted by other networks. So this leads me to an email that we got from Bob Morrison in Oklahoma. And Bob says, good show today. Thank you, Bob. Last week's CNBC moderated debate can be summed up in one word: pathetic. Pathetic in its lack of substance, pathetic performance by the biased moderators, and pathetic in the fact that this was nothing more than a liberal filibuster. But the most pathetic thing I saw post-debate was the way that John Harwood and others tried to spin the fact that the participants were dodging hard and pointed questions by invoking media bias. You know, CNBC hasn't had much to say about the debate and all the criticism. The network put out a brief statement saying presidential candidates should be expected to handle tough questions, and that is true, but not really engaging and not really reporting on the fact that it is at the center of a firestorm of criticism from the rest of the media, from the candidates themselves, and from much of the public. And I think that is a real mistake. You know, it's always uncomfortable to be the story when your journalists are the story. We at Fox News went through this after the first presidential debate. What did I do? I interviewed Megyn Kelly, Bret Baier, and Chris Wallace, and asked them about the criticism and gave them all a chance to give their side. And so I haven't really seen John Harwood, who was the lead moderator and the chief Washington correspondent for CNBC, say much about this other than a few tweets, except for the fact that he was on PBS's Washington Week. The question came up. We played the soundbite on Mediabuzz where he said that he thinks that a lot of the anger directed at the CNBC moderators is part of the same anger that we see, erupting or disrupting this whole campaign cycle, and also what is roiling the House of Representatives, which of course just replaced John Boehner with Paul Ryan. Well, that may be true to a point, but it kind of lets the CNBC moderators off the hook. It kind of suggests that they don't want to talk about what everyone else in America can see, which is however much they may have thought they were asking substantive questions, and however much they may have thought they were trying to pin these candidates down, they came off as having an agenda, maybe people think a liberal agenda, and asking questions, interrupting, losing control of the debate certainly, but also seeming condescending and snide and almost hostile, almost disdainful of these candidates. I think the CNBC people ought to defend themselves. I'd like to hear what they have to say about this, but right now it seems to me they are in the bunker.